Greetings, greetings, greetings. Trying to give y'all a few minutes to get in here before I really get into the meat of the discussion. Give y'all a few minutes to get in. Standard operating procedures. Y'all know what to do. Come on in here, hit that thumbs up button, hit the share button. As y'all can see, I'm in the car. and yeah, got a few things I like to say before I get going. And yeah, trying to see if anybody's in here. I promise y'all I will start doing more lives since I'm unable to keep the same date and flow of my regular show. Okay, I see a few of y'all in here. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button and share. I'm not going to be here long. This is just a quick live. As I was sharing a few seconds ago, I haven't been able to really keep up with Real Talk with ZSJ as much as I'd like to because life, right? I'm working. Hey, peace and blessing, Yazi. Thank you. Please like and share if you will. I haven't been able to keep up with my show because just life, lots of things going on, lots of just responsibilities, family, in the middle of buying a house. Oh man. Anyway, it's a lot. But I wanted to share because my husband and I have this is something that we have been talking and planning and everything, talking to people that's in our circle and our family, just about the state of geopolitics, right? I have to say I've been frustrated the last few days because there's been so much concentration on, you know, algorithm geared distractions, a lot on Facebook, a little bit on Twitter. They have quite a bit of a different algorithm now with Elon Musk taking over, but mostly on Facebook that's talking about irrelevant celebrity BS. I don't want to say the actual word because I don't know what YouTube is censoring and, whether they'll use that as a way to strike the page and all of that. Um, y'all let me know if y'all can, if the super chat is still there. There was something that YouTube emailed me about to update, and because I don't do this channel to make money, I kind of ignored it, and it said that I would have to. Anyway, just let me know if the super chat is available. Let me get to the topic at hand. Um, if you all are paying attention to certain news, clearly there has been a number of bank failures, um, particularly small banks, not anything really big like the Lehman Brothers back in 28. I'm sorry, 2008, and yeah, done with Facebook, right? And and so I'm trying to say this in a way that it doesn't sound anyway. Let me just say yeah, let me just say what needs to be said and let me get going here because y'all can tell I'm in the car. um Another bank has failed. I think this is number 3 or 4 now within 7 days. Crazy. I just want to say that everything the Fed tightening is showing the cracks in the financial system. Hey, wisdom bars, I have a different I have a different analysis on it. Damn, I just came back from eating lunch and I got something in my teeth. Damn, I should have looked at my mouth before I went live. But anyway, um, what's happening is that you have the global uh power structure, I will say, um, has to figure out a way to control billions of people. And a part of that is going to be financial control. And so, in order to do that, there needs to be a consolidation. All right. There needs to be a huge consolidation. We've been seeing the consolidation over years because the type of consolidation that they really need, they needed something like COVID to happen to really trigger a lot of things that we're seeing. Um, the type of control of speech that you see on these social media platforms, which is so-called un-American because of the Constitution, right? The Constitution hasn't mattered in decades, but particularly after the Patriot Act. So let's just get that really clear. I just want you all to make connections to different historical events, to different big laws, that passed without very little pushback, and mainly the Patriot Act, which the Patriot Act can really literally make any American citizen a terrorist, and they can literally take their ass over to Guantanamo Bay. They can kill them. They can do anything and not literally have to go through what's known as due process in jurisprudence in this country. Um, and so anyway, that lets you know that the so-called Constitution has been gone. The social media piece around speech is very interesting because a lot of things have gone online since the pandemic, and so you're seeing this level of control. Um, where they ban people. I know I'm one of them. So black nationalist voices like myself and others have either been outright banned on some social media platforms for a certain period of time. As you know, everybody talks about Facebook jail. Some people have lost their pages altogether. Some people have lost their page. Sorry about that. Let me know if you're still with me. I got a call that came in. Anyway, so um, let me know if you're still with me. Put a one in the chat if you're still with me. Make sure y'all share this. I got a call. I want to make sure y'all can still hear me. But anyway, the consolidation. Thank you, Sun God. The consolidation that they're doing is that they have to get rid of all the small and mom and pop businesses and banks. It's really sick. Thank you, Wisdom Bars. Thank y'all. It's really sick with these people. It's a type of criminality that only a sadistic mind can come up with. The same type of minds who uh, envision enslavement for our people. Um, and it's really hard to talk about without getting emotional when you think about what these people are up to and what they're trying to do. They're going to force people to go to the major banks. Exactly. That's exactly what I was getting to. Because they're going to force you to go to the Wells Fargo's, which has a horrific history as it is. They're going to force you to go to the J.P. Morgan Chase. They're going to force you to go to the Bank of Americas. My husband and I, we have several accounts. One of them is with a big bank, unfortunately, but we also have accounts at smaller banks, including black-owned banks. And I'm really concerned about what's going to happen with black-owned banks. Our business account is at a small bank and everything. And so we're kind of paying attention to that FDIC limit and what they're supposed to guarantee and all of that. Some people were saying that it's going to introduce nationalized banking. Actually, nationalized banking, not actually controlled by the government though. Usually nationalized banking is where the government has some control over the banks. I doubt that that would happen in the U.S. It's going to be a nationalized bank, but it's going to be private control. Be real clear about that shit. Nah, ain't no nationalized banking in the U.S. It's interesting because it's so-called features of communism that people the whole scary word, but the level of control that they're going to exercise is something that we have never seen. Yes, 250 for business and 10,000 for just regular accounts for individuals or families or whatever. um the type of control that they're ushering in, we have never seen in history. And we certainly have not seen in our lifetimes. I want to be clear that I am not a financial analyst. I am not some, licensed financial anything. but I'm awake, and I am not gonna be a sitting duck, and I'm sharing what I am doing and my family is doing and what we're doing to organize some groups of black people to respond to this. I want you all to be very clear that's listening to me. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I love black people. I love our people. Be very clear. What's coming is it's gonna make the 1929 crash, which obviously none of us on this live were. I'm assuming nobody from 1929 is watching this, but none of us on this live were even alive back then to even understand what that was like. We've only read about it in history books, and for me, I've only heard about it from family. My great grandmother raised me, and so she was a child in 1929 when that happened. And the type of, people were jumping out of buildings, killing themselves, and just, the type of scarcity and everything that happened. The one thing that I think that saved the majority of the people back then is that they were still farming, at least in the South. And I'm thinking about my family, my great grandmother. Food was not an issue because they were already still farming. What's happening, what is likely going to happen when the shit really hits the fan, is because the U.S. is not going to be the superpower that it has been. We're already seeing the dollar being dropped by major countries. Russia, of course, was one of the first to drop it as a reserve currency. BRICS, if you all, I just want to know, anybody on this live watching right now, are you familiar with what's called the BRICS nations? That's Brazil, that's Russia, that's India, that's China, and now the Saudi Arabians have just joined. Jamaica has been invited to their meeting that they're having in South Africa. All right. So BRICS is with two S's, just so you know, because Saudi Arabia, and that's huge. That's oil, right? And right now, the US dollar, right, which is fiat currency, right, is going crazy. Exactly. I'm glad I got people that's awake on this live right now. Um, Jamaica has been invited. So the dominoes are happening. If you have, I'm telling y'all this because anything that's attached to fiat currency is going to trash, including your 401ks. I'm taking money out of my 401ks. I am taking money out of the stock market with the exception of Tesla and Nvidia. And the reason why is because what they're ushering in is going to be, all electric, again, more control. All they got to do is literally shut down the electric grid and everything stops, including your cars, which is nuts. My family and I are actually going over to the Virgin Islands for my children's spring break, and every trip that we're taking now, there's going to be multiple reasons, and I'm not going to share everything on this live because everybody in the world will need to know our business, but know that my family and I are not opposed to getting out of this nation state, at least for a period of time when the shit really hits the fan. Because when the shit hits the fan, y'all got to think about it. We are spoiled in the United States. We get our food from grocery stores. We depend on supply chains. How many people got a garden? How many people can feed themselves beyond 3 days, 3 or 4 days? Who got freezers in their house? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Wisdom Bars, we got to get serious, bruh. Like now, like yesterday. Like the dominoes are happening. Like they're if you paying attention, black folks should never trust these systems anyway. You know what I mean? We should never trust these systems. But I will say that we're moving our assets into real tangible things. Now, don't crack up and start laughing when I say this, because a lot of financial people, they're brainwashed by the stock market and by the system itself. Oh, stock market always recovers. That's historically accurate. That's historically accurate. However, geopolitically, the things that are happening now, have actually never happened in history, meaning that we have always enjoyed, I forget the year, um, the US dollar being the reserve currency of the world. We've always enjoyed that, right? And that's changing, right? Fiat currency is not tangible. It's not, and they took it off the gold. Nixon took it off the gold standard. You know what I'm saying? They print money. That yeah, exactly. Wisdom bars. They print money. They doing all of this crazy stuff that's actually making things worse. You know, the inflation. The I just looked at the news. Dude, they getting ready to do the rate hikes again. People are already being pinched. There, and this is like my brother Omawale said. If you are subscribed to my channel, please go and check out brother Omawale Africa's channel. He is actually doing a series on the economic collapse, geopolitical economic, just really breaking it down. He really has done a lot of research in terms of China, in terms of everything, kind of that I'm just dropping just nuggets for you to go and look for yourselves. But my husband and I, we're moving our assets into tangible, actual, real things, including God's money, which is gold and silver. That's real old school gold and silver. A couple of banks going down. It's a hard place with the rate hikes. Exactly. It's like the Fed is doing the opposite of what would actually help people. And so to me, this is a controlled demolition, family. It is what it is. Call it a conspiracy theory. Listen, I'm not up here trying to convince you. I'm up here trying to help people who want to be helped. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you what my family doing. Again, I'm not a financial analyst. You can go out there and listen to people tell you to leave your money in the stock market and leave your money in these 401ks. That's on you. You can continue to leave your money there if you want to. And the dollar, even if you want to leave this country when the shit hit the fan, you're not going to be able to, because the dollar going to be trash. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can still, exchange, paper. I'm sure there'll be, some value in the fiat currency, but it's not going to be the type of value that we are used to. Trust me. And so for me, it makes sense for us to move our assets into tangible things, including land in other countries, homes in other countries, investments, period. Really in other countries, especially those countries that have come together, you know what I mean, around BRICS, or some or those countries that are being invited. Jamaica, as I mentioned, is one of the players now. So, again, like I said, my family, we don't have everything, fully planned out just yet, but we're planning. And I'm not leaving my money in America's 401k system. These people, I hate to say it, I mean, because it's really sad, because of the amount of people that's gonna die, the amount of people that's not gonna make it out of this, includes a lot of black people. We as a country, not just black people, are completely just reliant on this system, man. They have us by the balls, if so to speak. The food, if you think about like your basic needs, right? They told us to save for retirement. They told us to put our money, because hardly any pensions, if you're not a public worker, like if you don't work for like a state government, like as a teacher, police officer, firefighter, city government, you don't work for, you ain't got no pension no more. You got a 401k. And a lot of people at my age group don't even have 401ks. Like I have several, you know what I mean? And I'm pulling my money out, with the exception of Tesla and Nvidia. Nvidia is a chip. So you all can go and research those. Tesla, for obvious reasons, in terms of they are forcefully moving people to electric cars in this country and everything. I will continue to own a gas car as long as I'm able to, as long as they keep the gas stations open. Because again, they're ushering in a level of ultimate control. So my husband and I are not above and beyond leaving this nation state. Like, literally having everything together, having bags packed, ready to be picked up, ready to go. Really once the bottom fall out and everything just gets wild, because I think it's going to be really sad here, because once things like really get as bad as they're, you know, projected to be, there's going to be a lot of deaths. You're going to have people, you think crime is crazy now. You're going to have people killing each other about food in grocery stores, man. Like, it's sad. It's really sad. I know people alive and you know what I mean, and been in this country all their lives have like just no clue that it could get like that here. But I'm telling you, man, the dominoes are falling, and it's only so much this so-called Fed and the government, claim that they're doing. You know what I mean, to stem the tide. Understand that global white supremacy is global. It has always been global. So, they don't need the US as a nation state anymore. They showing you that. They showing you that. I mean, if you can't see that it's a controlled demolition happening at this point, I just don't know what else you need to see. I mean, they're literally not enforcing the laws at the border. And I'm not being racist. I'm just talking about facts. 4 million people, including drugs and everything, are literally coming across the border. As people who live in border towns, or as people, who live in cities where these governors and these border states are shipping people to. Yeah. So, um, people, drugs, everything. Like, this is a nation in steep decline right now. Like, steep. I know you can't physically see it in some parts of the country yet. You know what I mean? You can't. Everything seems like it's operating as normal. It's gonna get real quick. Is all I'm saying. And I'm just saying that I think people should prepare as best as you can. As best as you can. And people are already doing a run on the banks. I do think you should take your money out of the bank and leave money in there. I've never kept a lot of money in the bank. I think you should keep a certain amount, even in fiat cash, but move the vast majority of your assets to tangible things like buying land, or certainly buying gold and silver. That's God's money. It was around at the beginning of time. It is going to be around after this so-called crash and everything. So it's going to always be something that you'll be able to barter, if that's something that you all need to be able to do. But again, I said I wasn't going to be on here long. I feel like I'm rambling on now. I need to really get going. I'm sitting in the car just stationary here, after eating lunch and picking up lunch from my family. So I'm gonna get out of here now. But I just had to do a quick video because I saw on the news that another bank had literally failed. So the reason, so I wanted to share real quick, the reason why the banks are failing is because the Fed told banks during COVID, go buy bonds. Bonds are just another word for debt. All right. And so once they started raising or hiking the rates up, that made the bonds worth nothing. You know what I mean? So you kind of got to have a basic understanding, like, of macroeconomics, like, to understand some of this stuff. Again, I am not an expert. I listen to people. I will tell you, I listen to people like Robert Kiyosaki. I listen to people like the brothers on Earn Your Leisure. I listen to, there's another person I listen to, and I'm losing their name right now, and other books and stuff, that I've been reading. So, yeah, if being attached to the U.S. apparatus, the U.S. system, it is not going to be advantageous in the coming months and in the coming years. And I think that it behooves people to be smart, and to try to put your assets, whatever you have, to put them into real tangible things. Land is going to be critical. If you want to stay in this country, try to buy some land somewhere because you want to be able to feed yourself. Um, that's something that's tangible. And that's something that's going to, always have value, period. Um, it's not something that can be easily manipulated, like the stock market, which is really just a conceit and a game at this point. People make plenty of money in it. I mean, sure, people make plenty of money in it. Thank you, brother. Speaking truth for ramifications is not going to be easy. It's going to get real hard. Absolutely. But like I said, I'm not going to be here long. I appreciate the few of y'all who came in to rock with me today. This is a critical conversation. Again, go and listen to, subscribe to Brother Omar Wally Africa's channel. um I don't mean to be depressing, Sister Jessica Diaries. I don't mean to be depressing. I'm saying this because I want this to energize us, right? It is what it is, right? So I don't want people to get depressed and get down. I want you to get active, get to thinking, get to strategizing, right? I'm telling you what I'm doing with my money. I'm not telling you what to do with yours. I'm not leaving my money connected to the US apparatus. You know what I mean? No, I know, sweetie. I know what you mean, but I'm saying I don't want you know what I mean? I don't want people to listen to this and be like, damn, man, these people are really creating World War III. And they are. And these people are, they are. I mean, it is, like you said, depressing when you actually think about like how horrific these devils are, because they behavior, when you think about it, elites and these globalists, their behavior has not changed since they enslaved our ancestors. That was a barbaric act. Like it was barbarism the way that they treated our people. Facts. And so we're living in a day and time where they're just doing it differently, y'all. The amount of millions of people that's going to be impacted by the shit that they're doing with these failing banks, and literally creating the economic conditions that there is. It's really economic warfare on the people, y'all. It is what it is. And your own government doing it to you. That's what you need to understand. It's your own government that's basically been taken over by these devils, by these damn global elites. They've been completely taken over. You know what I mean? And in terms of like revolution, I mean, they done already created conditions where that's not, you know, gonna be something that's acceptable. They're gonna use every tool and apparatus to pump that down quickly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So yeah, all of that. Y'all all putting in good ideas. You know what I mean? I'm glad to see that there's people that's thinking like this on this live. Y'all already on it. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad, because I'm so worried though about the masses of our people. The other thing is that we need to be able to defend ourselves. Y'all take that for what you think I'm saying. When the shit hit the fans, people gonna be kicking in families' doors. When because when you hungry, you gonna do anything. And we are not a country that's, people for the most part, the masses are used to being hungry. It's restaurants everywhere, it's grocery stores everywhere. But when that shit really break down and it ain't no food and shit ain't running, oh my God. You better be able to defend your home, family. This is another reason why I'm in conversation with my husband about just like leaving this nation state when that shit get like that. Like trying to understand the conditions of, as soon as I see the grocery stores anywhere in this country with the shelves empty and people posting them on social media, it's time to purchase flights. That's how I feel. And you ain't got to go far, because thankfully I've traveled. You know what I mean? You know, what we see as, you know, an underdeveloped country, that's where the fuck you gonna want to be when the shit hit the fan. Because guess what? Those people can still feed themselves. They not dependent on grocery stores in Jamaica. They not dependent on grocery stores in a lot of Caribbean countries at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's coming, man. And last thing I want to tell y'all, don't pay attention to the distractions with this celebrity BS. For y'all that just came in, I talked about this at the beginning of the video. All this BS around the celebrity stuff that Facebook keep pushing. I had to get off Facebook yesterday because everybody talking about Sierra's dress. Man, I I, I don't give a F about that. Y'all need to be talking about these bank failures on and the damn government and this, creating this shit or aiding and abetting it at the least. Shit, this is a controlled demolition. And for people that's paying attention, you need to be preparing. If you're going to stay here and ride it out, prepare. Be prepared to defend yourself. This is still a country, hopefully, if they're not taking everybody's guns, you can still defend yourself, man. Start fasting. I'm talking to myself. I haven't even started doing that yet. Start fasting to get your body used to not eating. Or get your body used to eating very little if you're going to stay here. I'm just sharing real stuff. And I'm sharing it because I love our people. I don't want to see the masses of our people die, man. And I'm not saying that to scare people. I'm saying that because we still have time to prepare. That's why I'm doing the video. Even though I don't have a huge following. Y'all can make this video go viral if you wanted to. That's all I'm saying. Again, I'm not a financial expert. So for those who listen to me and like, oh, she crazy, then go ahead on, my man or my sister. Hey, don't listen. Do your thing. You trust the system, go right ahead. I ain't mad at you. I'm not trying to convince you. I hope I'm wrong. It's too many indicators that I'm not. So, yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm talking to myself on that fasting piece. Yeah. I encourage people to read 2 books, The 1 Meal a Day, How to Eat to Live, Elijah Muhammad, and The Fall of America, Elijah Muhammad, in terms of there is a lot of information in there around survival kits and things that you need to survive if you're going to stay here and ride it out. The one thing that's missing, though, is guns and ammo. And, that was just the politics of the nation that, in terms of not, having those. But I think you need guns and ammo. So I'll leave that there. If you're going to stay here and ride it out. I think you're going to see a lot of people fleeing once shit really hit the fan, and the airlines and airports are going to be crazy going to the Caribbean, going to Mexico, to ride it out somewhere else, going to South America, hell, going to Africa. You know what I'm saying? So, again, if you're going to stay here, be prepared. So with that, family, I'm going to go ahead on and get out of here. Need to get home, get to the family. And, yeah, you know, share this video for folks who you feel like, need the information. And I dropped the people that are, economic experts. So you can go and listen to them. They have a lot more material, on these issues. Brother Omawale Africa actually is doing a economic series right now. Please go back and watch his first one. I believe it's on his America's Wealth Network is the name of it on YouTube. Please, it's like 3 hours, but go back and watch the whole thing. And you can also subscribe to his channel, Brother Omawale Africa. He is doing a lot around this economic piece. And then Robert Kiyosaki, all of his stuff, his advice, which he predicted the last, the Lehman Brothers, he predicted when they would go under or whatever. So anyway, yeah, information is out there for the folks who want it. And with that, I am out of here. Peace.